How's it going, everybody? Thank you all very much. I always appreciate you watching. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. This is my review of a black and white classic suspense thriller from 1931 from director Fritz starring the great Peter Lorre, a character actor that was infamous for playing a lot of seedy characters, mistrustful characters, and all-out creeps. But this is my personal favorite performance from him in a film, and the name of the film is M. And what that M stands for, once I tell you the plot, maybe you can figure that out for yourself. Not too hard. But yeah, this is a black and white film, and for those that aren't really into black and white, some of the best films of all time are in black and white. And if you watch some of those films, like this one right here, I think that whole "oh, I'm not into black and white" kind of thing, I think that'll go away rather quickly, considering how great these films are and how good the stories are. For anyone out there that likes to be disturbed, for anyone out there that likes to be creeped out, this is your movie right here, especially if you're a parent like myself. I know that whenever I watch something that I can relate to, it allows me to kind of immerse myself in it a bit more. And being a parent, the plot of this movie is rather disturbing, which is it centers around Peter Lorre's character, who is basically a guy that abducts children and is a child murderer. Now, you don't see any violence in the film because this is a 1930s movie, so everything is kind of implied. But the filmmaking, the editing, the way they kind of hint at what's going on, it's enough to creep out anybody. The use of shadow, the use of light and silhouettes on the wall are all expertly crafted and executed throughout the film to be suggestive enough to convey what a parent's worst nightmare looks like. And I don't care who you are, I know it's a black and white film, but the subject matter alone is enough to get under a person's skin. So with the movie opening with these little kids singing this very creepy song, at the very start the movie lets us, the viewer, know that the kids are aware of what's going on and the parents are aware of what's going on. And you get the impression that this kind of thing has been going on for a while. And then you see this little girl and a man approaching her wearing a hat and trench coat. There's a little stand operated by a blind man who sells the guy a balloon. He hands it to the little girl. She smiles. You get a sinking feeling, and then it cuts away, and then it cuts to a shot of the balloon floating up in the air, kind of dangling up against some power lines. And right then and there, you know that she's gone. Something that really gets to me from the movie, especially being a parent, is a moment in the film where you see a mother calling out for her child, saying, "Elsie, where are you, Elsie?" Because all the kids are coming home from school, and she's in her apartment building looking down the stairs, waiting to see her kid come up the stairs with all the other kids, but all the other kids come up the stairs without her. Usually she walks with them, and so she asks the kids, "Have you seen Elsie?" And they say, "Nah, she was out there, but she's probably coming up right now." And so the mother goes inside, and she comes back out and takes another look, goes inside for another second, comes back outside, starts getting that paranoid feeling. And yeah, you can really relate as a parent to that kind of thing, because I've been there. I have had that moment where I'm looking to see if my kid's arriving from school yet, or you go to pick them up and they're not in the right spot. You start getting all paranoid, and so the movie is very good at recreating that situation. And the sad thing, the heartbreaking thing is, I know it's just a movie, but this kind of thing happens every day in real life, which makes it all the more disturbing to watch. The level of fear begins to increase in this town, so does the level of paranoia, where people start accusing other people right across from them as they read something in the paper that will say, "It could be the guy right across from you or next to you." It gets so bad in this town to the point where the criminal element, like people involved in organized crime, decide to try and catch this guy before the cops do, since they don't have any luck in that department and don't have any clues or anything. And so, yeah, there's a great debate in the film with due process versus like vigilante justice. So some very thought-provoking ideas. And Peter Lorre in this film, again, it's an excellent performance from one of the greatest character actors of his time. Peter Lorre was a phenomenal character actor with a very distinctive look to him. He was a short guy. He was about 5'3". He had big old bug eyes and big lips. If you watch old Bugs Bunny cartoons, maybe you saw a caricature version of him in one of those classic episodes where a mad scientist creates a robot female bunny for Bugs Bunny. That's a classic right there. But yeah, he was in so many great films, movies like Casablanca, The Maltese Falcon, The Man Who Knew Too Much. He was so associated with playing these villainous and creepy roles to the point where he would even play this type of role even in a comedy, like with Bob Hope's My Favorite Brunette. A very fun little comedy where Peter Lorre had a small part in that. And towards the end of his career, even appeared in a little TV. He pops up in Alfred Hitchcock's Presents in an episode called The Man from the South, co-starring a very young Steve McQueen at the beginning of his career. And this is a very good episode. It heavily inspired a movie where a segment in the movie in 1995's Four Rooms, co-directed by Quentin Tarantino. And yeah, this is a tremendously great film. Very disturbing film, but still an excellent film nonetheless. If you haven't seen it, I think you should definitely check it out if you're into black and white or want to start to get into black and white movies. But this is a 4-star classic. I highly recommend it. You can probably find it on streaming, but you guys know me. I'm a hard copy kind of guy. So here is my copy of the film right here. This is my Blu-ray here of the film from the Criterion collection. As you can see there, you can see an image there of Peter Lorre. And yes, the name of the film is M. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications on more reviews from me coming out very soon. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for all your support. I always appreciate it. Please be sure to comment, share, like, always helps out. And I'll see you on the next one. Everybody take care of each other. Watch out and look out for your kids now. Peace out, and God bless.